real money, man. You niggas don't impress me, man.
He ain't no white person. Oh! Who's that, man? That.
I don't like it. I'm people that I don't like it.
Like the feelings he been feeling probably deep down inside that he was scared to put out. He let that out once he got it.
Your mama's, your dad is, everybody you want.
My mama. I ain't see that nigga. A joke, huh?
There is a lot of drama surrounding him and the guys. Some of those guys have been involved in criminal activity here in Baton.
NBA YoungBoy is now staring down a federal investigation that could take him off the streets for life. And this whole thing blew up because investigators were basically handed a roadmap to 19 bodies like it was nothing. The same artist who got that high-profile pardon from Trump and packed out arenas coast to coast is suddenly at the center of what might become the biggest RICO case hip-hop has ever seen. Behind all the platinum plaques and sold-out tours, prosecutors say YoungBoy was quietly running a violent operation that turned Baton Rouge into a battlefield, leaving a trail of losses stretching nearly a decade and touching every lane of Louisiana street politics. And the truth the feds are chasing right now, it's way darker than anyone expected. A new stack of evidence just popped up and allegedly ties YoungBoy to those 19 deadly incidents, giving investigators what they claim is enough ammo to try locking him down forever. This situation got the whole hip-hop world buzzing because it's wild, it's heavy, and it completely flips what people thought they knew about him. Listen, this isn't just some random drama. This is real federal pressure hitting the scene hard. YoungBoy had just caught a fresh start, got that Trump pardon, started running up millions on his Make America Slime Again tour, and was chilling out in Utah like he was finally stepping away from all the old Baton Rouge chaos. Everyone thought he was finally in a new lane, living peaceful, staying focused, moving different. But now we gotta break down what's real and what's fake because what's coming out is straight up unbelievable. Everything shifted when investigators got their hands on new info that reportedly maps out a federal case they've been quietly building for years. We're talking claims of concrete links to 19 different fatal situations, 19 separate individuals who lost their lives. And each situation allegedly connects back to YoungBoy and that 4KT crew. This isn't street rumors. This is the type of stuff federal agents treat like gold because once RICO gets involved, the whole game changes. And don't forget, these investigators aren't new to this. They've been watching YoungBoy since back in 2018, when they officially labeled him a major figure in what they described as a violent Louisiana organization. Ever since then, they've been putting pieces together, tracking moves, studying connections. And now it looks like they think they've finally built the narrative they've been after. This case is exploding fast. And if everything the feds are pushing lines up, this could shake the entire culture in ways nobody saw coming. But here's where things get real wild, because fresh research just connected a whole chain of dots that investigators couldn't even lock in themselves. And the picture it paints could crack one of the biggest hip-hop empires ever built. This story goes all the way back to September 2017, to the moment everything spiraled with G Money. And this wasn't just some random enemy. This was someone who used to be close to YoungBoy, almost like an older brother, while he was grinding with the TBG crew. The bond was real at first, but once YoungBoy started heating up, landing that Atlantic Records deal, the tension kicked in hard, mixing jealousy with street politics until everything fell apart. Feel all good until he start, you know what I'm saying? Like doing his own thing, getting them little buzz, getting a little money. He just got the big head. And just started like any like the feelings he'd been feeling probably deep down inside that he was scared to put out. He let that out once he got on September 10th, 2017, around 1:30 in the morning. G Money was at a studio on the 1900 block of Dallas Drive, the same spot where TBG used to record all their heat. He was working on another diss track aimed straight at YoungBoy, calling him a liar and questioning his credibility, try and put pressure on his name. But G Money slipped up in a major way. He posted his exact location on social media, standing outside that studio, talking heavy about how YoungBoy wasn't really like that. And that move turned everything into a dangerous situation. Don't impress me, man. You hear me? I know real money. Man, don't impress me, man. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? You the underscore, you see me do, you wanna do. But you supposed to be what you saying? Huh? I'm about beefing. What? What? You hear me? Who you get it wrong with you, man? My underscore, I don't like you. I'ma keep it. I don't like you. Get off of what happened next, flip the whole city upside down. G Money stepped out of that studio for the final time and got ambushed. Shots fired, no warning. And just like that, the first loss dropped in what would later be seen as a deadly chain stretching nearly a decade. And here's where it got even crazier. Somebody snapped pictures of bloody pillows at the scene, and rumors spread fast that the attackers tossed a pillow at G Money and told him to go to sleep. That image became legendary around Baton Rouge, turning NBA into figures people whispered about, the type nobody wanted, problems with. And remember when King Von said YoungBoy had KA in his raps? Van was reacting to YoungBoy's track, Play With Us, where he was spitting lines about connecting people to violent situations and talking about drawing blood for blood. That wasn't just music to people in the streets. It was seen as a message, a signal, something deeper than just lyrics. Talking crazy on, oh yeah, he ain't even like that. On his ass now. See, Van stopped the track mid-play and said YoungBoy was lying about his body, count like the numbers in those lyrics were just for show. But here's the twist. Vaughn had it completely wrong, because every single number YoungBoy threw out in those songs lined up with real situations tied to the streets he came from. And once investigators started breaking things down, it became clear that the music might have been hiding straight-up confessions in plain sight. The second loss connected to this whole timeline hit just a month after G Money. 19-year-old Orisha Barnes, known around the city as Nisha. She was sitting in a parked car outside a deli when shots flew from a red Chevy Trailblazer. Nisha wasn't even the target. She got caught in the middle of what people say was supposed to be a hit on her boyfriend Hammer, who had ongoing issues with YoungBoy's circle. And in YoungBoy's leaked track, Money Man, he literally lays out this exact situation, describing how they were trying to hit Hammer, but hit his girl instead. That detail had fans in shock, because it matched the real story almost point for point. But things didn't slow down. The violence was only warming up. By May 2018, Big Dump, YoungBoy's own manager, the same person accused of putting a $100,000 bounty on Johnny's head, ended up getting taken out in retaliation. TBG pulled up on him in his old neighborhood on Nan Drive while he was out there talking with family and friends. A driver bee, multiple witnesses, and just like that, the message was sent clear as day. TBG could reach anybody connected to YoungBoy. And the payback for that, it came fast and vicious. On November 26, 2018, Boulevard Quick, a TBG rapper who had been dissing YoungBoy's mother online, got hit at Lakeside Villa Apartments just after midnight. Quick had been talking reckless for months, making videos calling out YoungBoy, saying he had no fear and was right there waiting. But when the moment came, he didn't stand a chance. See this here? I caught that. You mamas, your dad is everybody. You my mama. Think I ain't see that. Huh? Joke, huh? What made everything even wilder was how YoungBoy's crew turned these moments into material for their music. They weren't hiding it. They were putting the energy straight into their tracks, celebrating victories and losses like it was part of the brand, leaving listeners wondering what was entertainment and what was real life. The day after Quick lost his life, YoungBoy hopped on Instagram Live and started spitting lyrics from his upcoming track, My Mama Say, talking about how people kept threatening him. Yet they were the ones ending up gone. Then NBA Big came out with songs straight up titled Smoking On. Quick, complete with cover art of him blowing smoke. These weren't regular dices. These were basically open declarations. The kind of things that made the streets buzz nonstop. But here's where the story goes way deeper than simple back and forth drama. YoungBoy wasn't just reacting to pressure. Investigators say he was structuring something that looked like a full-on violent network. Anytime someone tried to challenge NBA or 4KT, they ended up getting taken out, and the count kept stacking higher and higher as the years went on. By 2019, YoungBoy was already referencing multiple bodies in his music. And in the leaked track Murder Man, he rapped about someone talking about him on Instagram being number 4, a line many believe was aimed at King Von, who had recently taken shots at him. The tension in the music felt way too close to what was happening in real life, making people wonder how much was entertainment and how much was something else. But the situation didn't slow down. The violence kept spreading, especially when people connected to YoungBoy got caught up in their own conflicts. In late 2019, an older teen named Jebin Brown lost his life after a fight that started on public transportation escalated later on. 2 individuals connected to YoungBoy's family circle were arrested in connection to that situation, which pulled 4KT into another heated standoff with a rival alliance in the city. That loss kicked off another wave of retaliation. On Christmas Eve, another young adult named Devontae Taplin, known on the streets as T6, was killed during a home invasion incident. At that point, Baton Rouge felt like it was spiraling with different sets clashing, and every move turning into another explosive situation. Then, in February 2020, things turned even more tragic. A rising athlete and rapper known as Guerin Bang was shot outside the Mall of Louisiana after a fight broke out inside. Authorities later arrested 3 individuals, all teens, including Bradley Payne, who later became known publicly as an artist. That moment shocked the whole city because it showed how deep the chaos was reaching, pulling in people from all different lanes and ages. 38 Young, who's connected to YoungBoy's North Side Rangers, played a major role in everything unfolding around that circle. And in the streets, everyone knows politics run deep. But YoungBoy's situation was on a whole different level because he had something most crews never get: serious money and heavy connections. That cash turned his circle into something way more organized, almost like a professional operation. He was rapping about putting money on people, hiring shooters, dropping bags on targets. And the wild part is every bar he spit had real situations behind it. On March 1st, 2020, Louis Sari, known as Scooter, was killed in a driver beyond Cambridge Street. Now, the streets have been whispering for years that Scooter was the one responsible for the loss of YoungBoy's childhood friend, Lil Dave, back in 2010. YoungBoy never hid the pain from that. He WPP'd about it over and over, saying he wanted justice for Lil Dave. And in his 2020 track Hole 13, he dropped a chilling line about how the people behind that situation came for Lil Dave when he was young. But once he became an adult, he came back to settle the score. Then came one of the wildest moments in this whole saga, the Miami incident in May 2019. YoungBoy was staying at the Trump International Hotel when things popped off. TBG members Lit Yoshi and Seven Hardway allegedly tracked down YoungBoy's crew and opened fire. What followed looked like something out of a movie. A full-blown shootout in broad daylight at one of Florida's most high-profile hotels. Tourists were screaming cars, swerving, chaos everywhere. Tragically, an innocent man named Muhammad Girardi lost his life in the crossfire, and YoungBoy's girlfriend was hit in the shoulder. That moment shook the whole country because it showed just how far this war had spread, from Baton Rouge neighborhoods all the way to luxury hotels in Miami. But in this world, retaliation always comes fast. On March 22nd, 2020, Travis Parker, known as T-Baby, was shot and killed at his family home. And exactly 1 week later, Jason Nixon, known on the streets as Dutch, got gunned down right in front of a food market. It felt like every time one side made a move, the other side answered immediately, like both groups were locked into a cycle that had no brakes. Dutch was a certified TBG stepper, someone who had been putting in work for years. But 4KT eventually caught him slipping at a gas station, and that was the end of his run. And 4. Anyone who doesn't fully get how federal ratio cases work. Here's the breakdown. The feds don't need to prove YoungBoy pulled any trigger himself. They just need to show he was leading a structured crew that carried out violence to protect the empire around him. And once they prove leadership, every move the crew makes land on the boss, too. And according to investigators, the pattern they mapped out stretches over a decade with situation after situation pointing toward organized violence that kept escalating. Things got even wilder during 2021 and 2022, when new wars kicked off between the Vultures and the Bleeders. And because of alliances, 4KT got dragged straight into the middle of it. Cornell McDuffie, known as Nell, passed away after getting hit while driving on the interstate, losing control and crashing out. Then there was a double homicide on River Road involving Michael Riley and an adult family member, a case that shook the entire city because of how sudden and violent it was. But the moment that had the whole state frozen came in February 2022 at the Mall of Louisiana. A Bleeder member and his friend Cliff got ambushed in what witnesses said looked like a professional hit. 2 cars, coordinated timing, and a full attack carried out in a public parking lot right after the victims finished shopping. The aftermath even got recorded, spreading online within minutes and turning into one of the most viral tragedies Baton Rouge had ever seen. And while the city was processing what happened, members tied to 4KT jumped online celebrating, making everything look even more intentional. YoungBoy's brother Boyd even posted ELR with laughing emojis, which had investigators documenting every screenshot like it was evidence wrapped in gold. The wildest part, a lot of the evidence the feds claim to be using comes straight from YoungBoy's music. In the track My Bobo with Herm the Black Sheep, YoungBoy raps about being 15 bodies up and even tells Herm he can name 5 bodies Herm reportedly handled himself. He talks about riding on drills behind Herm, watching him walk people down, and says he gets hyped seeing situations he's connected to show up on the news. But the part that really blows everything open is how YoungBoy's own music lined up with what investigators were tracking. When he claimed 7 bodies and dead trolls back in 2020, investigators went back to the timeline and said they found 7 separate murders tied to conflicts surrounding him. Then in 2022, when he dropped the track, This Not a Song This, for my supporters and updated that number to 12. The investigator said again 12 more bodies had dropped in that time frame. And when he claimed 19 bodies in Tears of War in 2024, the numbers matched the map the feds were already building. And that's not even the end of it, because 2024 showed things were still dangerous. Even with YoungBoy behind bars, Dart from Soul Snatcher Gang got killed in a shooting that injured 5 more people. Then, Harley Kin, a music manager connected to artists on the TBG side, was gunned down in La Place, and Sage Wilson from Essity got shot on Susan Avenue and passed away at a hospital. Each one of these events kept the tension alive and showed investigators the drama wasn't slowing down at all. But here's the twist. The feds didn't just start this investigation yesterday. They've been cooking up this Ray Cho case since 2018, watching everything YoungBoy Circle did, documenting every move, every post, every song. They officially labeled him a leader of a violent Louisiana organization years ago, tied him to multiple shooting investigations, including the Miami hotel shootout, and kept receipts on how people from 4KT would jump online celebrating losses on the other side. What they were missing were the links that tied all the separate wars together until now. That's why this moment feels so dangerous, because investigators finally think they have enough pieces to build the full picture they've been chasing for years. And the timing, terrible for YoungBoy. He just got that pardon from Trump and probably thought he was stepping into a clean future. But what a lot of people don't realize is that presidential pardons only cover federal crimes you've already been convicted of. They don't protect you from new charges. And with RICO, one conviction can put you away for life with no chances to walk out early. The wildest part is that YoungBoy's own music is now working against him. Every song where he bragged about numbers, every bar where he named drop bodies, every time he updated his supposed count. Investigators treat all of that like gold. The feds love when someone basically documents their own crimes on record. And YoungBoy has been doing that for years in track after track. They've even built files showing how NBA connected figures like Ben 10, Herm the Black Sheep Big B, and others allegedly carried out hits for him. They've saved social media posts where they joked about losses, music videos where they referenced specific situations and lyrics where they basically admitted to things investigators had already suspected. According to the feds, YoungBoy didn't just make music, he made evidence. And now they're using every line, every video, every post to paint him as a mastermind behind a violent crew that moved like a real organized mob. Everything investigators are using is documented, public, and fully admissible in court. And that's what makes this whole situation even wilder, because that 19 body count everyone keeps talking about, that might not even be the full picture. Those are just the situations people can link through public info. There could be more incidents that never made headlines, more targets that got handled quietly, more disappearances that the streets whispered about but never confirmed. And with this new evidence, the feds basically have a roadmap now. Every connection laid out, every detail highlighted, every timeline lined up. It all gives investigators more paths to chase. They can dig into witnesses, pull old phone records, match location data, break down social media posts, and piece everything together like a giant puzzle. And once the feds start opening old doors, they don't stop until they find what they're looking for. Meanwhile, the street's been talking heavy. And here's something everybody notices. None of YoungBoy's real rivals ever called him Ka except King Vaughn. And Vaughn passed before he ever got the chance to prove whether YoungBoy was lying or not. Every other opponent either stayed silent about YoungBoy's claims or ended up gone. And in street culture, that kind of silence says more than words ever could. But here's the part that it's hardest. The evidence shows YoungBoy's success is what made everything spiral even further. The more money he made, the more he could put behind his people. The bigger his platform grew, the more his circle felt pressure to defend it at all costs. What started as regular street beef grew into a full-scale operation with millions flowing in and the violence escalating right alongside it. This wasn't just personal conflict anymore. Investigators say it turned into a structured enterprise tied to music, money, influence, and power. And that's why the feds are locked in now. Because once a crew looks like it's moving with Real, organization, and real funding, that's when Rico comes knocking hard. Now, this situation ain't just about whether YoungBoy ends up in a prison cell. This is about the feds possibly tearing down an entire operation from top to bottom. Rico doesn't just hit one person. It hits everybody tied to the enterprise. NBA members, for KKT affiliates, associates who played any part in violent activity. Anyone the feds believe helped carry out orders could be staring at life behind bars. And according to investigators, they're zoning in heavy on YoungBoy's position at the top. The one they say called shots, paid for hits, and used the music industry as a cover to move money around. They're treating his lyrics like confessions, his crew's social media posts like receipts, and his financial records like a paper trail, showing who got paid and when. To them, this isn't just rap noise. It's potential evidence of an empire built on violence and protected through fear. And that's what makes this case so explosive, because it raises one massive question. Was one of the biggest rappers on earth secretly running a machine designed to take people out while the world watched him stack millions? The investigators seem to think the platinum hits and sold-out arenas were sitting on top of a trail of losses. And now they're ready to test every piece of that theory in court. The real mystery now is whether this evidence is strong enough to finally lock YoungBoy down for life, or if he's about to beat another major case like he's done before. Because now the feds have their roadmap, and it's all about whether they can turn that into proof a jury believes. And listen, we need to hear what you think about this whole situation. Do you think the feds finally caught up to YoungBoy, or do you think he's walking away from this again? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this one has the whole culture debating. And before you dip, hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on so you never miss the heat we drop. The streets never sleep, and neither do we. Because here at RapLink, we're built to dig deeper than anyone else. We're just getting started, and tomorrow's upload is going to be even crazier, even deeper, and absolutely unmissable. Smash that like button, share this video with your homeboys, and lock in with the family, because we drop new fire every single day. We'll catch you in the next one right here at Rap. Link, where the truth of the streets' lives